You're locked in to Independent Grind on Dash Radio. Tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern for the latest hip-hop news, music, and interviews. Independent Grind only on Dash Radio, baby. Tech 9!
We are here with Prof. Thank you for taking the call and letting us get your time. How are you feeling? Well, technically, this is a day before your album's about to come out, so I hope you're doing good.
But it's out once people start listening to this, so I'll be doing even better. I don't know, man. It's just a lot of hard work. You know how it is, man. You work around musicians all the time. It's like they put a lot of effort into their records and shit, especially people not on Strange. It's like Strange, y'all kick it out all the time. Boom, 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 every year. Like, for me, I'm slow, man. This shit's tough. So it's been a lot longer than, you know, what you're used to at Strange. It's been like 2 years, I think, maybe a little bit over 2 years since my last release. So it's finally out. Pookie Baby's finally out. And I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Do you have a release day tradition? Is there anything you like do when you drop an album?
No, there's not. I mean, really, not really.
I think you need to start one.
Maybe get like a rim job or something. Release day rim job.
That should be your first tweet tonight when the album drops.
Release day rim job.
Yeah. Who won it?
Oh yeah, we're trying to get this ass.
Do a poll.
Yeah, do a Twitter poll, man.
All right, then like
what like when do you get a date set where they're like, hey, you got 4 months to knock out this album, or like, I know you said that it's been 2 years since your last release, so you didn't really have a time limit on this?
Yeah, well, from my understanding, it's pretty different from the Strange records, how they put it out. Like, you know, they got timelines and they're like, okay, you need to have it done by this time, whatever. Like, Rhymesayers is just like, kick back, like, come to me when you got a record. You know what I'm saying? So, I think, you know, obviously they release less records a year probably than Strange. That's just a guess of mine. But also I think it's probably a good thing because they only put out records when the artist really wants to. And, you know, like, I'm not going to put out this record until you give it to me. You know what I'm saying? So only the artists that put out records on Rhymesayers, like, you know, you got to really want to, or else, you know, they're not going to babysit nobody. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So this time was on you then?
All the times. I mean, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck it was. Everything just took way longer than I wanted it to, because I released Liability like 2 whatever years in November. And that February, I flew everybody out to the studios, my favorite beat makers, and I was like, let's get fucking started, like, right away, like, right after my tour. And I was like, let's do this, you know? And then fast forward 2 years later, finally that record comes out, you know? It's just, it was on everybody. I don't know. It, like, the radio edits took forever, just like really small, weird things. There was a lot of hiccups on. So, you know, hopefully we get faster and faster at it, because I don't want to be like coming out with a record with songs that are old to me. You know what I mean? Liability, the one before that, took even longer because I was, you know, just getting my feet wet with Rhymesayers and figuring out how Stop House, another company I'm on, would work with Rhymesayers, and there was songs on there that were like 3 years old when I released it. You know what I mean? And I don't want people hearing old shit. Like, I want people hearing shit like the time I made it, you know, when it was supposed to be listened to. So, you know, I mean, I hope this next one doesn't take as long, but I mean, I feel really, really fucking good about the record, at least. So there's that.
Yeah, the records that you've released off of it have been pretty good. We were just actually listening to a few of them. Tell me about your pre-order package. Is that cologne or perfume?
That is a fragrance, bro. It's a unisex fragrance. So that's how, you know, a lot of people are doing it these days, is just, you know, unisex fragrances. There's no such thing as gender anymore.
Yeah, I don't see gender anymore.
I can't believe you'd say something like that to me.
Yeah, to assume a gender.
What? Yo, that's a fucked up question, dude. Why would you ask me such a fucked up question, bro?
Well, you haven't listened to our show.
How did you come up with that idea? Because it is like a super unique, like, I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that kind of like pre-order package. How'd that idea come about?
You know, I'll just take credit for it.
All right.
Do you like the smell of it? Because you realize if there's a tour or something, everybody's gonna be showing up smelling like that.
Yeah, dog. I'm going on tour next week. It's gonna be I hope people aren't like in the crowds like spraying it up like it's a water bottle and shit. Like,
Febreze.
No, I think this might be the very first. Correct me if I'm wrong. Album to come out with like a fifth sense, you know what I'm saying? The sense of smell that comes with it. You know, you can hear it, you can feel the record. How about smell, bro? Has there been a smell attributed to a record before? Like, I don't know.
You might have that
don't
one.
quote me on it, but
maybe like
I might
scratch
have that
and sniff album.
That might have happened, maybe. But I crafted this motherfucking scent. Like, I had lists of things being like, okay, now this is brushwood, this is rose, this is peach, and I had like a million scents, and they're like, okay, put together 4 of them, from one to 4, and we'll get you the combinations of whatever you want, and then later on that month I got to smell them and pick which one I seriously wanted. So it's 100% unique scent, you know what I mean? It's not anywhere else out there, and it doesn't smell like shit either. So there's that.
That'd be kind of a funny prank, because it just smells like shit.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I wouldn't do that though, because it's kind of expensive. I think it's like $30 or $40 or something like that. Would be a pretty heavy prank to be like, ha ha, you know what I'm saying? You take that $40. Here's this piece of shit. You know, I don't think I could do that.
Tell us how you got linked up with Rhymesayers.
I'm just in the same hood as them. Like, I kind of grew up, friends with Ant. I've been friends with Ant for forever. We just got drunk at the same bars, and I'd go to his house and just fucking drink on his porch until the sun came up, and I'd pass out in his guest rooms and shit. And for years, so I was homies with him and knew everybody from around the way. And I guess I just kind of got like too popular to ignore, you know what I mean? They came to me. I tried to get signed to them earlier on, and then I was kind of doing, some anti-Rhymesayer shit. They were mostly known for, East Coast kind of feel, boom bap, backpack, like true school shit is kind of, what the vibe that they were kicking out back then. And I was like more like ludicrous, like wild ass throwing parties, and I was turning up. I was like kind of the first one to like turn up out the city. And I got to a point where I was like, oh, well, I'm making money on my own, like, and I'm totally different than them. I never expected it to happen. And then, totally independent of anybody, we sold out Prof Outdoors 1 before I signed the Rhymesayers, and that's 4,000 people outside, So like that's some juice. And they're like, well, you live in our backyard. I mean, so Sadiq hollered at me and was like, let's have a couple meetings. And I went in thinking, nah, this ain't gonna work, But the more we met, and I talked to Sadiq about, hey man, like, he's truly about what the artist wants to do. He didn't have a direction for Rhymesayers to like, I want everybody to come off as this and righteous and shit. Like, he was like, I just want the artists to do what they want. And so that's what the artists were doing at the time. And that was the feel of the record label. But he was like, I want to expand and do some different shit. And I want you to do you, So, I was like, all right, fine. Like, if that's truly the case, like 100% artistic, expression, like, how about this, man? First song I release, I want you to release this song. And it was the reply, and basically the chorus is like, suck my dick, I'm the greatest, fuck you, I'm the greatest, and shit. And he was like, I was like, I want this to be my coming out song. He's like, all right, bet. And I was like, yeah, all right, then, cool. Like, all right, this is gonna work. So
there's a lot of
totally.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, there's like, I mean, when you look at the roster, it's some like really incredible artists. Brother Ali, obviously, Ciroc, Evidence. There's so many artists on there, all these sort of like unique styles. Greaves. I'm thinking of like sort of just going through the list. Is it here? It's strange. Like, I feel like there's a big sense of like obviously friendly competition, but like everyone really likes being around other MCs who are so talented and so lyrical. Is there that sort of same sense of competition at Rhymesayers?
I don't know, man. I don't know exactly what it's like at Strange. I mean, I'm taking tours of your spot. I mean, every time I'm down to Kansas City, I'm kicking it, but I don't exactly know how competitive it is or know people enough or are around Strange enough to know exactly what that level is and what that level is on Rhymesayers. But I mean, just the being a rapper in general, just staying on stage and to be like, I want all the attention is pretty narcissistic shit. So you got to imagine everybody's pretty competitive and wants to blow up, you know? So, I mean, I guess it would be pretty similar.
Mm-hmm. Whenever you were coming up, you're from Minnesota, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're coming up, are you just popular in Minnesota at the time, or did you have like a big internet buzz going on, or?
I've never really had a big internet buzz, really. It's been like hand to hand fucking people listening to music and just sharing it with everybody else, you know? Mm-hmm. I was touring though before I signed to Rhymesayers. You know, I was touring the country already. So, you know, I've started to work my fan base and grow my fan base across the country. But, you know, I could still use some work when it comes to big blogs, you know, radio looks and shit like that. I'm still probably, you know, pretty underground rapper in the sense of when it comes to that kind of shit.
Yeah. Tell us about Stop House and how that and Rhymesayers works together.
We started Stop House about 7 to 9 years ago. I don't know. I'm not the type to ever really remember numbers or anything like that.
You need a kid. You can, you know, diagram it by how old they are.
Oh, yeah. That might work. I'm about to have a couple babies.
A human calendar.
Yeah, I tried to go to Costco to because they're leasing out babies right now. They're you can adopt a baby, but they only come in 3-packs. You know what I'm saying? So I was like,
yeah,
fuck,
Costco, you gotta get the bundle deal.
I was like, I can't just adopt one baby. I was like, nah, so that's too much for me. What the fuck are we talking about?
Stop House and Rhymesayers.
Oh, yeah. So Stop House was really some Southside hood shit. It was I was totally alone with me and Roswell. I was the manager. I was a rapper. I was the, you know, beat maker, like everything. And we already had some juice even before I stopped to sign to Stop House. And so what Stop House originally was a group called Interlock, and it was just a bunch of broke rappers with some clout in the city going around battling people and coming up and shit. And actually the slogan was support broke rappers. And so I got to know some of them and a dude named Big Zach. So this is actually going way back in the day, some history about Minneapolis rap. And Big Zach kind of took me under his wing, and I toured with him a little bit a long time ago. And then, oh yeah, I had a DJ Scars, who's also kind of my management. And then he was like, I'm peacing out. I think Rhymesayers took him from me or some shit. He's like, so before I leave your management and as your DJ, he's like, I'm going to try and set you up with some other people. And so he set up a meeting with Interlock. It's getting long-winded. Then I was kind of fucking with Interlock, and then the owners of Interlock, Dylan and Mike, were like, oh shit, Prof, you're good as fuck. And they had like 10, 15, 20 rappers on their kind of so-called label back in the day. And they were like, all right, let's drop everybody else. Prof, you want to start a record company with us? And I was like, okay. I felt bad about that, you know, like I felt like I just stepped into this and then everybody got fired, you know, so there's probably some animosity over that move. I was like, don't do it, dude, you know, but Dylan was like, you know, an owner of Interlock at the time was like, fuck that. I'm making too many records. It's just too loose. Like, I want to take this shit seriously. I want to work with you. And they also took St. Paul Slim. So that was the start of Stop House. They took me and St. Paul Slim, and then we released Recession Music together. Me and St. Paul Slim is a collabo record, which is pretty dope. And then a couple single records from me. We were starting to blow up. And then Rhymesayers was like, can we sign you? And I was like, if you take Stop House too, because I don't want to work with anybody else, you know, like these are my guys. And they were like, okay. And so that's kind of, we've been working together. And that's what kind of takes so long is, you know, with Liability, our first release on the Rhymesayers was like, who's going to answer this fucking email? And like, it took so long to even figure out people's jobs and roles and shit. And we're still kind of doing that. But it's starting to get smooth right now.
Mm-hmm. Going into the sort of like the tracks on the new album, I'm curious because Andre the Giant was dropped and then Criminal comes out too, and it's like very different. So sort of, is there a specific tone on this album? I know you're like a funny, charismatic guy, but Criminal's a little more serious. Like, I guess what's the vibe or what's the feel of the album?
Well, now I feel like I've always tried to do different shit.
Mm-hmm.
I've always, on all my records, I've tried to expand, and I just get bored with one style. Like, I love them all. I think the rappers these days, they all know how to sing and shit. It's kind of like centers in the NBA, you know what I'm saying? They were like, oh, back to the basket. Now you got everybody who's 7 feet tall, who's like dribbling between the legs, can play point guard and shit, step out and hit the three. Like, I think it's similar with rappers these days. And, I think I was pretty early on that shit. So, and for Pookie Baby, this record in particular, like Pookie Baby is sort of like the most interesting man in the world, like on acid, sort of like, Pookie Baby does everything. He's well cultured and shit. Like, he can do ayahuasca in the mountains, which is shaman for 5 days, but then he can also throw some singles at a strip club with 2 Chainz. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that character is, he can do it all. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of evident in my delivery across the record.
That's dope. Are you staying in LA or are you back in Minnesota?
I was just in LA for a press run real quick. I'm back in Minnesota, but yeah.
Can you tell us about how you met Merce?
Shit, yeah. Merce just kind of reached out to me and was like, "You want to go on tour?" I was like, "Okay." I guess there's some other story about how, we had a booking agent at the time that we ended up firing because I don't want to get too far into it or name names, but they weren't really doing their job. And so at that time, Merce was trying to holler at me, and he was like, "Are they fucking ignoring me?" Like, he thought there was beef and shit. He was like, "What the fuck is wrong with Prof?" And, like, you can just say if you don't want to go on the road with me, you know what I mean? And I wasn't getting these requests to come out on the road with him. So he knows more detail than I do, but he thought it was kind of shady at first. But we ended up getting together, and I met him in Tucson outside of a club for the first show of the Road to Pay Dues tour. And we went on the fucking tour with each other for like 2 months out of that. That was a monster ass tour, and a lot happened on that tour. Some best friends were made and shit. So
it was cool seeing you guys at the release party for MURS and stuff, because you guys, to me, are like somewhat of the same people. Like, you guys, just how outgoing you guys are and everything, and kind of how you look at this rap shit
brother
is super dope.
Yeah, his perspective is just super interesting, and not very, like, he's not a boring dude, and I appreciate him. He's a good motherfucker, man. He's a brother of mine.
I love asking people this, like, do you have something he taught you on the road, or like a great road story with Merce, like one that sticks out to you?
I guess right when it just pops in my head right away, like one of the first shows, a lot of these venues back then were just super small. That some of them had just like real shitty backstages, and like I think it was like the second day or something. Like, I didn't even really know him. I was still kind of, reserved around him and shit. We were just both backstage, and I just finished my set. I'm sweaty and shit. He just comes in, and we're like basically in a fucking closet back there. And he's like, "Oh yeah, so how was it?" And he just starts taking off all his clothes. Like, he just takes off his pants and shit, and like he gets just down to his like tidy whities. I'm like, "Oh shit," so that was cool. Like, so that was kind of funny. Yeah, by the end of that tour, he just started drinking. I think he was sober for 6 years, and on that tour he started drinking. And so that was a drunk fucking tour, man. Ain't much I remember, but by the end it was nuts.
Are you a big drinker on tour now? Like, I know you're about to go out. Are you gearing up for it, or are you just kind of lay low at this point?
Man, I've toured the country fucking 8 times, 9, 10 times. I don't even know. I've been to every city. I'm like, I've done tours super drunk, and then you wake up hungover, and then you're like so hungover you just got to drink again. It's just like, so I don't drink as much as I used to. With that being said, I probably drink every fucking night. I don't know, man. It's just, I try to keep it less and less. I try to be more and more healthy every time I go out. You know, it's like, how many years off my life do I want to take? You know what I mean? Especially with these like bus tour or van tours. You know, you don't got all those amenities and comforts. So you just running around burning from both fucking ends and drunk and just shitty and
Gas
smelly.
station food.
Yeah, man. So, you know, I've been doing. When I hit stage, I've been maybe take a shot just to go out. A lot of times, just completely sober. I don't really drink before I hit stage anymore because I don't want a glass wall in front of me. You know what I mean? I want to be right there. I treat it sort of like a athlete going into before a game and shit. Like I want to be on top of my game. So, but usually I'll give a couple drinks and then I'll go out and fuck with the fans a little bit after these shows.
What songs from the new album are you excited to bring on tour? Like really excited to play live?
Andre the Giant, that motherfucker is gonna smash.
That's the one you played in LA?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
And that was before anybody heard that motherfucker. So, I mean, it's gonna, when people know when to scream, like it's intense.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be the shit. And I always like to do some real low songs too, to go real low and quiet. So I like a real dynamic show. So I'm excited to perform Criminal. There's a track off the record called Action. That's fucking nuts. I don't know if you guys have heard the record, but you should definitely listen to Action. That's like a super banger.
Nice. Are you coming to Kansas City on the tour?
I'm not. No. I'm gonna try and put it on. Yeah, fuck y'all. I'm trying to put it on the second leg of the tour when I head out east or something. So.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we got 3 random questions for you, and then we'll wrap it up. You're going to the gas station. What are you gonna get?
Maybe hard-boiled eggs.
It's like, what gas station are you?
Somebody yesterday actually said that a hard-boiled egg sounded really good, and I was like, I don't think that ever sounds that great.
This is the worst food of all time. All right, go ahead. Next question.
A packaged egg.
Yeah, just packaged wet hard-boiled eggs for sure.
A must-have on tour.
They have those in the front lines of Walmart, like just packaged eggs.
I see. I was just noticing that when last time I was in the gas station, I was like, "Ick."
They're disgusting. Like red.
Ugh.
They're gross.
You had one?
No, I just. Yeah,
objectively, could be fire.
That's just a statement I'm confident in just saying. You know what I mean?
Objectively, eggs are gross.
I haven't been to the sun, but I imagine it's hot. You know what I mean?
All right, I can deal with that. Favorite show on Netflix if you watch it?
Oh, fuck. I guess, I don't know about favorites, but I just got done watching Wild Wild Country. Is that what it's called?
I think so, yeah.
Wild Wild Country.
What is that
With
about?
the fucking cult. The crazy Rajneeshi Indian cult that moved from India to Oregon and like took over this tiny little city and ended up poisoning the city with like chopped up beaver mash and it got fucking crazy.
Jesus.
Murders and shit. It was nuts.
An artist and or producer that you'd love to work with?
Jay-Z. Producer. You know who I want to work with is that I forget his name. He makes shit. Fuck. Shit. Fuck. Fuck.
Is he like a mainstream guy?
Hey, what's that? Nah. Yeah, sort of. He's produced for Bruno Mars and he's produced for like that. What's that one Action Bronson song that features
Alchemist?
No. It's like total opposite.
Now that I think about it, Bruno Mars and
Hold
Alchemist
up.
would be
We're
very
gonna go really deep here. What's the second largest rapper from Chicago of all time?
Chief
You got
Keef.
Kanye, and then you got the
Chief
no.
Keef.
No.
Well, then the third.
The
You're speaking on
Christian
the third.
dude.
A Christian dude. Common?
No, he's all over the radio and shit. He's huge right now. Come on now.
Rapper?
Chance, the rapper.
Oh, there you go.
You know he's number 2. He's bigger than Chief Keef.
Ooh.
Yeah,
He's selling
I
out
guess.
stadiums and shit.
I
So,
guess.
anyways, Action Bronson and Chief Keef. Remember this fucking Chance the rapper Action Bronson song? You know that song? Like
Actually,
Baby Blue? Or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Action Bronson?
Did Rick Rubin produce that?
no, it was. Oh fuck,
No.
who was that? I want to look it up, but I also
That
want to
dude.
get it.
That dude. He also produced a song with like Bruno Mars and Mystical, and it's like it's got this throwback
Mark Ronson.
Yes, Mark Ronson. There we made it. I took you guys on an adventure, but we made it.
He worked with Wale a lot too.
I'd like to work with Mark Ronson.
Yeah.
Is that how you pronounce it? Ronson?
Ronson, yeah.
All right, yeah. I'd fuck with that dude.
Yeah, he's an OG. Lady Gaga, Amy Winehouse, Wale,
Yeah,
ASAP, everybody.
Yeah. And I honestly, I'd like to work with Seven, although I kind of have. I've been on a track of his, I guess, but
Yeah.
I'd like to fuck with him a little bit. Yeah.
You listen to rap music?
Do I listen to rap music?
Yeah, like is that your main genre?
Only when
you're
I'm
playing?
mixing my record.
Really? So what do you listen to?
I'm just playing.
Oh.
Yeah, I listen to rap music, dude.
Yeah.
I listen to everything. I stay up on all types of shit, but honestly, I mostly listen to like old. I've been listening to a lot of like Ray Charles and like Louis Armstrong, Ella Fitzgerald, Etta James type shit.
Classics.
Word. All right, well, we appreciate it. Go grab the album, Pookie Baby, out everywhere. Is it going to be out on like SoundCloud and stuff?
Yes, I think everywhere you can listen to music, it's there.
Bet.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks for joining us, and yeah, congrats on the album.
Appreciate y'all, dogs. Stay up.
This is the genius, Chris Calico. Cali, baby. Letting you know you're tuned into Tech Nine's Independent Grind on Dash Radio.